Group chats. I just wanted to talk about group chats. I think the person who sets it up is usually the worst person in the world. Okay, so you brought up something. The thumbs up is a full response.
Universal.
No,
absolutely.
Come on.
I don't understand. What's your problem?
Yeah, but if that... Oh, easy. This is Big Dink Energy, the pickleball podcast that's half insight, half nonsense, and all entertainment. If you love pickleball, don't take yourself too seriously and think a little trash talk makes the game better, welcome home. This is the place where life and pickleball intersect. We celebrate the chaos, call out the nonsense, and put the fun back in dysfunction. You're either in or you're out. And if you're still listening, you're in. So let's go. Big Dink Energy starts now. Then we're back. This is Wacky in the Zoo. No, this is not. This is the Big Dink Energy podcast, the official podcast of pickleball, coming to your ear holes right now. Listen. Get in where you fit in. We leave for PickleCon this week. If you're one of the lucky ones who will be in Kansas City, July 24th through the 26th, come find the Dink and Dash booth and make yourself a positive pickle pin. I said that. Positive pickle pins for you. Come make one, share one, and tag us in it. But if you can't make it this year, you're still coming with us. Guess how? Follow us at Big Dink Energy Podcast and over at Dink and Dash, your favorite pickleball app, and turn your notifications on, because the second we get there, it's going straight to our stories, and it is on. Booth chaos, on-court dancing, questionable interview answers, all of it live. Can't be there in person? Be there anyway. Come with us in our pockets. Follow along, and we'll bring PickleCon to you. Yeah, that was great.
That was okay.
Thank you. Now, listen, I wanted to talk this week, or one of you wanted to talk, because you brought this up to me, group chats. I just wanted to talk about group chats and how they're unwritten rules nobody agrees to, everybody follows them. Who sets the rules? Why does a thumbs up count as a real response? Why does someone vanish and never come back, or they come back like a month later and into the group, with something? I'm in one actually right now with some old high school friends. Like Rich
Lord.
Bilson set it up, and here's the thing. I didn't know who was in there because it was all phone numbers. It wasn't names.
Right.
It was all phone numbers. So I'm like trying to figure out who is in there.
And you're probably the one Android person that makes it all a mess.
No, that's been fixed. Okay, number one. But number two, yeah, I was the only one who wasn't 716 area code. Go look that up if you want to know where I was. So they had to figure out who I was, but they all knew each other. So that's the other thing about it. I think the person who sets it up is usually the worst person in the world.
I also agree. And I also agree that the person, when there's a group of people and the one person that mentions going to do something like, hey, y'all, we should all go to dinner or we should all go to open play, then you immediately are in charge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't just drop in here hey, y'all, we should do this and then ghost everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get to set it and forget it. You're not a crock pot.
At least for me, when I see it come in, the group message, I'm out automatically. I will open it to see who's in there and what are we talking about. But generally, just know I'm out.
I despise them.
If I get involved with you, consider yourselves lucky.
So I think a group message is more than 3 people. I have a lot of group messages that are just 3 people, and I don't consider those group messages.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I consider those the small friend group, that you have these 3 people do this together, and these 3 people, work over here together. We have our podcast group and, things like that. But when it gets 4, 5, 10 people, I am literally just thumbs up. Or I don't even reply.
Oh, see, that's the other thing.
Or even better, I just mute that shit.
Yeah.
I don't even have time.
Okay, so you brought up something. The thumbs up is a full response.
Universal.
No,
absolutely.
come on.
Thumbs up universal means I agree. I don't have time to write anything else.
No, I agree. I don't want to write anything else. You're not worth my time. Group.
I don't have time. Why do I need to respond with the whole thing when it's just okay?
So are these emergency messages? Why are you having to respond right then? Why don't you wait until you have time?
When someone asks a question hey, is everybody going to open play? Thumbs up.
I don't know.
Why not? What? I don't understand. What's your problem?
Yeah, but if that... Oh, easy. Don't at me. Don't come at me right now.
I'm just saying, what's your problem with saying thumbs up? Yes, I'm going.
If you're involved, be involved. You know what I mean?
I never asked to be involved.
Well, then get yourself out of it. That's the other thing.
I mute the chat.
You mute it.
I don't want to be in there.
Why won't you drop out?
I do drop out and I say, hey, message me over on Dink and Dash because that's where I have my chat group.
That's where you need to talk to us at.
Yeah, that's the only place we talk.
I think GIF responses are fine too. Like,
yeah, I like to do GIF responses.
Me too. It's like, you say,
wait a minute.
Yes.
What are you saying? What is the thing you're saying right now?
A GIF.
What?
A GIF.
A GIF. Thank you.
Oh. Either way, we're not having that conference. We're not going to have that debate.
Oh, okay.
I say GIF.
Oh my gosh. Who are you people? I've been podcasting with you guys for 76 episodes. I did not know this about you.
I just say moving picture.
Yes, that's what you said.
The moving picture.
Okay, for the thumbs up. I guess I'll accept that. But the being gone for 3 days. Were you on an island? Did you fall off a cruise ship or something? We're all in here, asking questions, and then you pop in 3 days later, like, where were you?
Well, I think
busy with life.
Sometimes I think what happens is they become like sidebars, and two people start having a conversation. It's like move off the platform.
Right.
Like if you start having 4 or 5 back and forths with someone, that is an indication that you need to go text on another thread.
Have a conversation with that person.
Group chat should be specifically for, hey, everybody in here, this is what's going on.
Right, for information sharing.
And done. We're not having all these conversations because you know what else I also hate with group chat is if everybody's kind of texting at the same time and you're trying to respond and it keeps going and then you try to scroll back up and then it pops and it goes back up.
At that point, I'm done.
I'm just like, it's done and I've had it.
Well, yeah, you can't answer a question from 5 minutes ago.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Then now you're way out.
And I know now, like you can go and respond to specific texts, but then people are it's too much.
Get banned or get group me or something like that.
If it's that, what is that important? I guess is what I want to know.
Yeah, I
know.
can see the short-term group messages like, "Hey guys, we're meeting at this spot. Here's the spot. Here's who didn't charge.
That's it.
Who has the tickets? All that. But kind of stuff.
Why are we sending like videos and pictures? Like, do that on Band or Facebook or something where it's like. It sits there, and when I'm ready to go look at your picture, then I'll go look at it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. The other thing for me, and this probably infuriates people, but I like to write actual sentences. So if you're going too fast in the chat for me, and I put 2 paragraphs together on my response, I'm sending. I don't care where it fits.
Yeah, and I prefer to do like voice memo, especially if you're having like a conversation where you need inflection. Because sometimes I'll do voice to chat, but I'm angry and I need it to come across angry and it doesn't, it just writes it. And so I need it to come across excited, so that's when the voice memo comes in. But those voice memos, don't be doing 60-second voice memos because I'm not listening to all of that.
No, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing.
I'll do a 20-second one like, hell yeah, I'll meet you there. I'll do that.
I'm in most of these, I'm a lurker. I just sit back and watch what's going on. I try to figure out.
How many group chats do y'all have?
I would say 20.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Jeez Louise.
Paddle Princess looked at me like, what? Yeah. Okay, first of all, you know how many friends I have.
I know. That's why I'm like, where is all of this coming from?
Are we talking about our group chat?
Like the only group chat that I have is the 3 of us, and then the 3 of us with Carrie.
Yep.
And then one for my family where it's just like, okay, the appliances are being delivered tomorrow between 3 and 7. Like,
so we have like a family one.
Chats.
I have this one. I have another work one. I have a pickleball one. But I moved that pickleball one over to Dink and Dash because that way, if I'm talking about pickleball, I'm over there and we're in our own group chat thing. But other than that, I mean, who am I really talking to?
Yeah, I don't have group chats like this.
So. But I have in the past, though.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Well, I guess I'm not a fan either because I'm not in group chats.
Can you tell if someone takes a screenshot? But that's like Snapchat, though,
of like
right?
texting?
No, you can't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so there's always that risk too, right?
Yeah, like don't be talking shit then.
Yeah,
like
don't say that. Don't say that about that person.
Those who talk to you talk about you.
Yep.
So.
Oh, the other one that we get wrong. When you text me and I text back, but it's also our dog groomer in the chat.
Oh my gosh, Guy is the worst.
Yeah, I don't like this. If I see your name, that's
it. That is the worst when like it pops up and then now there's a conversation. I don't even know what you said in there, and I was like,
I sent that picture of me in a thong. No.
It was us and the dog groomer, and then he sends a text supposed to be just to me. And I have to
something about like dinner or fridge food or something.
And then I had to message him. I'm like, you're in the group chat with The groomer.
Wrong text.
Wrong text. And he's done it before with my sister in a group text.
Oh, I heard about that one.
So, yeah.
What I did? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that one was fun.
It was indecent. No, it wasn't indecent. But you got to check, guys. You got to check your group text. Make sure you're not lumping stuff together.
Yep.
Or not in the wrong one, apparently.
Yeah.
Not trying to hit on your sister-in-law. Let us know what you think. Put us in a group text.
Yeah,
put us in a group text. Let us know. We'd love to be in there. Go to bedpodcast.com and all of our socials over on the Instagram and the Facebook and just everywhere to connect with us. Let us know. Oh, yes. This one comes from Jessica. It comes from a text from Jessica. It wasn't a group text, though. Thank you for making me laugh on my way to open play. Thank you, Jessica. We are here to make you laugh.
Yay.
And if we made you laugh, let us know. Send us some fan mail. We got nothing to do in this segment unless you send us something. So get on it.
BDEpodcast.com.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Quick pickleball wisdom in and out before you know it. Just the tip comes from our talented Wally Green this week. He said, being big on the court is not about your size. It's about the amount of pressure you create.
Ooh, I like that. That's
Under
good.
pressure.
Just the tip.
It's time for Pickle Pals.
Yes. Our guest today is building the alternative to billionaire back pro pickleball. You're going to want to lean into this one. I love this. Cody Sivan founded Brick Wall Pickleball in 2025, a grassroots pro circuit with $100 entry fees. That's unheard of. Higher payouts than the PPA. Love that. And zero financial backing. Also love that. In 1 year, 36 events, $90,000 in payouts. World top 20 players competing. 2027 goal, crush it. Players making a living at Brick Wall. From Philadelphia, we won't hold that against them. They got a great cheesesteak out there. Cody Sivan with Brick Wall Pickleball. Thank you so much for being on the Big Dick Energy podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Did I nail all? Did I miss anything in that?
No, that was a great intro. That was one of the best intros I've gotten.
Okay, I'm just going to follow you around. Is that okay? And just intro you everywhere we go?
That sounds great.
Yeah. So, man, I got to go back to the roots, right? We would miss it if we didn't talk about this. Being homeless for a little while and then getting to where you are now. Can you kind of unpack that journey a little bit for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the time I was pursuing playing professional baseball. It was all I wanted to do from age, 3 until I hung up the cleats at I think 21, 22. And so, on the back end of that journey, I was traveling all over the country, looking for an opportunity to get into pro ball, working out for scouts. I would drive to different stadiums in the Carolinas and Ohio and Michigan and just show up to the stadium and kind of like sneak in and try to convince the general manager to let me work out for them. And
good energy. I love that.
Yeah. So throughout that journey, a lot of nights sleeping in my car, a number of nights sleeping at homeless shelters. And, it was a grind, but it was a journey that I think led a lot to the perspectives that I have shaped now how I'm building Brick Wall and how we're building Brick Wall around this idea of, accessibility for the players and not trying to limit the financial liability to pursue your dreams as much as humanly possible. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was obviously a very challenging time, but also a really rewarding time. Like I honestly enjoyed it and enjoyed waking up every single morning, even if it was in my car at a gas station. Like I really enjoyed waking up with such purpose. And I hope that answers that question.
No, that's great. And, there's another famous athlete who had baseball on his agenda, but took another turn and went a different direction as well. Tom Brady. So that seemed to work out for him.
Worked out well for Tom,
taking on another sport. So I could see Brick Wall being the Tom Brady sort of story out there for sure, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So how did pickleball come into your life then? From that point when you decided, okay, baseball, I'm not going to make it, so let's take a turn here. And how did pickleball get into your life?
Yeah, towards the end of me playing baseball, I was home for a little bit in Maryland, and my dad at the time was he's still my dad, but at the time he was getting into pickleball and brought me out, and he wanted to go play a tournament this weekend as father and son, and we had a blast.
Nice.
And they just built courts in my area in my town, so my friends and I would go out and play. They had lights that were like auto switch. They wouldn't turn off with the city. So you could play until 1, 2 in the morning. It was a blast.
Oh, wow.
And so
Yeah.
I just got really into it. And so I think for me, it was a natural transition as I wrapped up baseball to go into this new competitive outlet.
Okay, real talk for a second. If you're out here listening to us argue about scissors and box cutters and thinking, I kind of like her energy, and you happen to run something, anything, your lawn care side hustle, that Etsy shop, or the Instagram you've posted twice on this year, go find me at stephaniebeverage.com. Take the quiz, book a chat, or just steal some free business advice and never tell me. That's it. Back to the chaos.
That's awesome. And obviously, we hear a lot of the people that come across from different sports. Basketball is a big one.
Sure.
Tennis is another big one. So I'm guessing, all the stuff you did in baseball, learning how to persevere, learning, hand-eye coordination, all that. That translated really well to pickleball, I'm guessing.
I'd like to think so. I think baseball players have really good hands. I think they have great coordination and great reaction time. I think every sport carries over different skill sets, but I feel like my baseball background has certainly helped get me going.
Yeah, and probably frowned upon, though, to spit all the tobacco juice on the courts of pickleball.
yeah, I'm sure.
And the seeds, right? The seeds. Yeah. So founding Brick Wall, was there a moment where you're like, there's got to be something better, or I can do this better? Or what was that all about? What was the epiphany that in that moment for just let's go with Brick Wall?
I think there was a series of epiphanies. Like it really was. I tell people a lot that I didn't come into it with a business idea. I didn't come into it saying like, oh, okay, we're gonna build this nationwide pro series and try to compete with the PPA and the APP. It really was. It started originally in 2024 with I was frustrated with my experiences playing on both tours, and to be honest, I couldn't afford to continue doing it.
Right.
I wasn't good enough to be making money, and so I said, fuck it. And I just started hosting events locally in South Florida. And, by events, I'm talking like 8 guys at the park playing for $200. But because there wasn't a profit incentive for me, all the money kept going, essentially I was, people would bring the money, I would hold on to the money. And at the end of it, it would go right back to whoever won, which wasn't me as much as I would have liked. And so it built from 4 teams to 5 teams to 6 teams to 8 teams to 10 teams to 12 teams. And then as we went into January of 2025, I think that was kind of the first of a series of epiphanies where I felt like, okay, like let me really try to build something. I didn't really quite know what that was going to be yet, but I said, let's build something. Shortly after, I came up with the point system, which is still the point system we have today. And again, same idea. I didn't really know I didn't envision a 100K national championship, which is what we have this year. I envisioned, creating a cohesive system. Okay, let's make this mean something from event to event. And so that's kind of epiphany number 2 is creating the points and the rankings. And then, I launched in Baltimore. And I say we have a tremendous team, but at the time, this is just kind of me running all around. And so I launched in Baltimore, tremendous facility. We're still at Bounce Baltimore, just awesome team there. And we got 24 teams the first go. And so, that was kind of like a proof of concept. Dang. So then I said, okay, let's try this in Atlanta. Let's try this in Chicago. And so it just kept building and growing. And I had the same values now, or is honestly a lot of the same perspectives that I had when I started. But the ideas and the system have kind of been built, not necessarily as we go, but those first 3 to 6 months of Brick Wall being birthed into existence, there was never a business plan. It was just seeing that this is something that people wanted and this is something I'm passionate about building, and we really have a chance to create this system.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was worried it was I can't win on these in these matches, but I'm going to build my own so I can win.
Sure.
What a great story, man. And just recognizing something in the market and people just gravitating to it. That is really grassroots stuff. I mean, like you said, proof of concept right away with a bunch of people saying yes.
Yeah.
And it is always scary. You do a lot of that stuff scared in the initial phases. So kudos to you. Hats off. I love everything I'm seeing.
Thank you.
The point system is fantastic. I bet you a lot of people are resonating with that. How do you see like the David and Goliath though with PPA, MLP, and everything out there? Is it easy? Is it hard? Are they always on the periphery? Are they always in front of you? Or how do you see that relationship with all those?
I think that I acknowledge the instead of elephant in the room, you can say the Goliath in the room. But at the same time, it's not really. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about us and what we're trying to build. And I know that there's a lot of steps between now and where we want to be. And we're meeting each of those benchmarks. For this year, we came into the year with, I want to have a $75,000 national championship. And we actually exceeded that, and we got to 100,000. And so it's not about trying to, I understand the reality that what we're trying to build puts us in competition with that organization, but it's not necessarily about that. For us, it's about how can we build the best professional system worldwide? How can we build the most player-friendly, community-friendly system? And then, whatever that means is what that means, but we're just trying to build what we're trying to build. We're trying to make the player experience better. We're trying to grow the payouts. We're trying to, make it so that players can make a full-time living just competing at Brick Wall. These are tangible objectives that are independent from whatever the PPA and the MLP are going to do.
Yeah, I mean, know that they exist, but hey, man, great on you. We're building something different over here.
Thank you.
So $100 entry fees versus I think PPA is well over $200 now. So but you're paying out more per event. Yeah, 3. So I'm in law enforcement. So I'm not great at math, but the math doesn't math for me on that. So how are you making that work?
Well, so the PPA, has a greater total than us, of course. Like, Ben and Annalie are making a lot more than, Megan Fudge and Oscar Sarah are at Brick Wall. But the difference is 2 things. For one, we do pay out more than the challenger, right? Like you if you're going to go play the Brick Wall in Baltimore this weekend, if you're playing the men's, you're going to play for north of $4,000 versus if you played last weekend in, I think it was in Maine, you played for $2,000. Like we are outpacing challenger. But then the second thing that I look at is like, what amount of money is tangible? Like you can advertise a big number, but is that number actually attainable? And the reality is right now it's not.
Right.
If you look at the asterisk, you look at the fine print on the PPA site, they'll tell you the vast majority of their advertised payouts are committed in appearance fees and salaries. So Ben Johns is getting that money whether you beat him or you don't. And so how much money can you really win? Can you go, like if I go and play a PPA and I get hot and I run it to a quarterfinals, how much am I going to get? And the reality is not very much. There's a great website called dinkbank.hq, I think, dinkbank.com. And, they have a chart that you can go and see. And you can see how much would I make if I was an unsigned player, which is, of course, the vast majority of us. And so if I'm an unsigned player, even if I'm a 6'5", let's say I'm Richard Livanese, who's a tremendous player, he's fully capable of making a great, big, deep run in a PPA. But he's not, he's a smart guy. He can go and look and do the math and say, I'm an unsigned player. And the vast majority of the payout is not even real payout, it's appearance fees. And then even within this tier of what's a payout, as an unsigned player, I only get a fraction of that. And so in that metric, you can make more money competing at Brick Wall for the majority of players than you can on the PPA. And so we just want to continue to widen that gap. And really, again, it's less about them and more about us. Like I want players to be able to say, I'm going to commit to playing a full season of Brick Wall and play whatever else too, but I can really make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 personally take home and make a living competing on this series.
I love that. I know that, and I'm guaranteeing the athletes love that too, where you're honoring them for their time and their commitment to it. And that's one of the things that, kind of your core philosophies, accessibility is everything, but opportunity makes the accessibility mean something.
Yeah.
And so kind of unpack that for us a little bit.
Yeah, you put it exactly the way I would. The opportunity is what makes the accessible. That's a great way to put that. Yeah, I mean, it can be accessible all day, but if there's not a reason for people to want to be a part of it, then it doesn't really matter all that much. The opportunity is a couple things. It's the duper, right?
And if there's no real opportunity too.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's an opportunity to further your career at Brick Wall in a lot of different ways. It's the intangibles of meeting people and getting integrated into a community and, finding higher and higher level partners and getting into better games. There's the duper side. I think we've had like a dozen players break 6-0, break that benchmark at Brick Wall this year. We've had like 50 players break 5-0 at Brick Wall this year. So there's real opportunity to further this rating that is incredibly impactful in the sport. And then of course, there's a lot of money on the table. We're at, after this weekend, we'll be north of 150 grand paid out this year. We're going to finish, I think, ballpark around 400 grand this year. So there's real money that you can make that impacts your life. You can go and pay rent with that. You can go and fund your next couple tournaments with that. And then the opportunity carries over to meritocracy. And this kind of circles back to this last thing we were talking about. I think one of the big differences between Brick Wall and a lot of the frustration that a lot of top players have with the PPA and the APP is that the money is not being distributed meritocratically. And so if you go and compete and you are an unsigned player with either tour, you're competing for less money. Robert Slutsky, who's a tremendous, I think, top 25 player in the world out of Texas, just had a funny Instagram post where he talked about he talked about sprinkles. And he's like, if these players beat me, they get more sprinkles. And so that's how it should be. And he had he put that metaphor better than I would. But the point is that right now, players are getting paid whether they win or lose. Players are getting salaries to show up. And so what that does is it takes a lot of the money outside of the pot for everybody else. And at Brick Wall, everybody's equal. Everybody has equal opportunity to make this money. If Ben Johns, if the PPA lets him come and play Brick Wall, he makes the exact same amount of money as a player who's been playing Brick Wall since the very start, as much as a 5-0 would or a 6-0. No matter what, if you win, you get paid based on winning. That's it. There's no favoritism. There's no, anything like that.
Yeah. And that is what's driving people. That's what's driving the foot traffic right to your doorstep for sure. The guaranteed, I can count on it as long as I play well, right? And,
Sure.
that's the difference right there. So I saw Florida, right? Midwest, Mid-Atlantic on the website, SoCal. Why do you hate Texas? I didn't see that on there.
Texas is the next region. Texas, we're working really hard to get Texas going. We'll be there soon.
We're very humble people out here. We only have Texas. Waffles in the shape of our state. Tons of courts, tons of people. So yeah, obviously that's got to be your next swipe at things. So
fabulous. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. So you partnered with Duper in 2025. How's that relationship going? Because I know some people just don't like Duper and they're looking for something else. But Duper is listening to the chatter too, and they're making some changes. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Duper is tremendous. No algorithm is perfect, but I can speak off of the personal relationship with Tito, the CEO, and Mortada, who runs a lot of the ops over there. Like they have a great team, top to bottom, of people who genuinely care about making their system better and also growing the sport, growing the community. I think that's why our partnership with them works so well. I know there are people who are looking to a different system, and I don't think that's the right path. I do truly believe in Duper. I'm generally like anti-establishment, but I think Duper is doing things right. I think they have like you said, like the evidence is there that they are listening to people and trying to continue to fine tune and improve and give the people what they want, while also maintaining an objective algorithm that serves the purpose that it's meant to serve. And then when it comes to Brick Wall, like they really are supportive of growing the sport, whether it's with us or partnering with CBP in Brazil or Pickleball DJoy in Vietnam. Like they are really conscious and intentional about supporting the growth of the game worldwide. And I think that's fantastic. Unfortunately right now is a little bit rare at the top of pro pickleball. And so I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree. There does have to be a system. People need to figure out where they are so we know how to, who to play with, during those tournament sessions and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and as long as they keep listening to their customer, and while you still have their ear, if you would just let them know, I'm looking to be sponsored as a solid 1.5. So if Duper wants to come out with that 1.5 rating, I'm ready for it.
I'll let them know.
Yeah. So PickleCon, obviously, you talked about that, and we talked about accessibility.
Absolutely.
So, from your perspective, where as a community, as a pickleball community, what's working and where do we fall short a little bit?
When it comes to accessibility?
Well, that and just generally and where we're going in pickleball, if you have that insight.
Pickleball is it's growing tremendously. Like, I think a lot of people not a lot of people, I think people who are in the know focus a little bit too much on the cat fights at the top, these, lawsuits and the, monopolization and all this big stuff. Yep. And that, don't get me wrong, like I'm very passionate about that is threatening the future of the sport. But at the same time, like the game is growing so tremendously domestically. I think they just had the first wheelchair nationals. USAP put that on. That's so cool. Deaf Nationals was in Maryland this past fall. My dad played in it. It was awesome, huge, incredible event. The sport's growing like wildfire in Asia, in Europe, and in South America. Like, I think that I have more positives than critiques. Like, it's really great. And there's so many, incredible community leaders from like local clubs to big organizations to people just, creating WhatsApp groups at their park that are continuing to grow the game true to the roots of how this started. So I have very little critique for the like general community.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we feel the same way. We are all about the rec player. That is where the game is. That's where 90% of the game, maybe even 95% of the game is.
Yeah.
And it's what drove us to it, the community that surrounds it. It's in what you're doing in Brick Wall is you're bringing that community right there and saying that, this is achievable. If you are trying to get somewhat professionalized, this is achievable for everyone. everybody. There's no gatekeeping with Brick Wall. So I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
If we go back and we find young Cody on the streets donating plasma, thinking about maybe baseball isn't going to work for me,
Sure.
and we ask him to look at Cody now, what is he saying? Is he saying Cody made it, or Cody has a little bit more work to do?
I think that Cody is upset that I'm not still playing baseball. There's probably no other way around that. It was all I wanted to do, all I thought about, 18 hours a day for 15 years. So I don't think that Cody really cares about anything else.
Yeah. Cody probably wishes he was born in the Dominican Republic back then.
Yeah, or Japan or Korea,
Yeah. So tell us what's next. I mean, give us a little peek behind the curtain. What are you guys brewing back there? What's next for Brick Wall Pickleball? What can we see in the near term?
A lot of stuff, but down the same true path that we've been on. Nothing. We're not going to drop a paddle or anything. You touched on it earlier. Like we're prepping this Texas launch. We're excited we just launched in LA. So we're going to focus really hard on building out there, continuing to build in the Midwest, which is our second newest region, continuing to grow the women's and the mix. I think there's a lot more growth to be had there. And all the meanwhile prepping for, we really believe this 100K National can be one of the biggest events of the year in pickleball. And we're going to work really hard on making that an incredible experience for everyone involved, not only the best of the best players who qualify, but also the people who take time to come and watch and be a part of that event. Of course, it's going to be free to watch for the community. And we want there to be a very big community there watching these pros battle it out. So there's a lot of cool continued growth. I think we're just going to keep getting bigger and better and keep professionalizing the experience, standardizing a rule book and adding referees. We just added paddle testing on site pretty recently. So just continuing to make the experience better for everyone involved.
That's awesome. All right. Cody, how can everybody get a hold of you? Where can they follow you? What's all the socials?
Yeah, Brick Wall Pickleball. I think we did a good job of keeping it the same across everything. I think we're most active on Instagram. We really need to improve that and get going on YouTube and Facebook and all that. But Brick Wall Pickleball, just about anywhere, we'll cover it.
Man, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being on the Big Dink Energy Podcast. You all go find Cody and Brick Wall Pickleball, especially get involved. Maybe even you too can get some of those big checks that are out there. No gatekeeping from Brick Wall. Love what you're doing out there. When you get out to Texas, we're going to have to link up, brother.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Cody. Thanks so much for being on.
Yeah. Cheers. Have a great day.
It's time for Pick Six.
Pick Six, we take one question and we each bring two answers and immediately regret this segment. Tonight's Pick Six is things that make a bad booth at an event or a conference. And things that make a bad booth at an event or a conference.
So mine would be that the people at the booth are sitting at their table with and looking at their phones. They don't ever come.
No engagement.
They don't ever come around or even ask you anything. They're just like, put your name in the fishbowl.
Well, that one was mine as well. I think that is a really big thing that makes it a bad booth. Also, when they're just like, hi, like, hello. And it's like, okay, well, what do you have going on here? Like when you have no idea what their booth is even about or what they offer, like that's just a turnoff for me.
Yeah. For me, no candy.
I know. I like when they have chocolates.
Have a mint. Have an Andes mint. Something I wouldn't get normally.
Oh, sometimes they have good chocolate.
Yeah. Like, come on. What did it cost you? Put it out.
I would say when they're too aggressive too, like almost like the perfume kiosk mall people.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't need you to grab my wrist and bring me over here. So you have to have that fine line between being engaging but not being aggressive and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
My next one would be especially like at events or conferences, is when you don't have like a little freebie for somebody.
Yeah.
Like even
swag.
just like, a little bit of swag, like a pencil, a wristband, anything like that. If you don't offer something like that, I think it deters people from wanting to come
and
to
what
you.
does swag stand for?
Stuff we all get.
No, I was like, I have no idea.
Yep. For me, it was not letting you leave. Like they keep asking you.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't know when the conversation is broken.
And one of the best things, I think it was from Pee Wee Herman, I learned this? And he says, well, I'm going to let you let me go.
Yeah.
And I love that saying more than anything.
That's perfect.
But if you're an Office fan, this whole segment reminded me of when they went and did the job fair.
Oh, gosh.
And he brought the single
One
piece
piece
of
of
paper.
Yep.
So don't be that booth. And speaking of booths, we're going to have a great booth at PickleCon. So we will definitely not be aggressive, but we will be engaging and we will have something fun for you to do.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. Come see us.
News you can use.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?
Well, I definitely know where we will be this week. We are on our road to PickleCon. And here's what we're actually walking into next week. PickleCon has 680 registered tournament players.
Wow.
But add in the fans and spectators, that's another 2,500 or more. Wow. So over 3,000 people in one building, 130 plus vendors, 65 or more courts, 400,000 square feet, people flying in from 39 states. It's not a small pickleball meetup. It's basically a small little city. And we're going to be in the middle of it, making pins, meeting people, making memories, and for sure logging all of it in the Dink and Dash
app. By the way, you're welcome, Kansas City. I don't know what else you have going on in that city. But yeah, you're welcome. Pickleball's coming because nobody's picking to go to you in the summer as their summer trip without PickleCon.
But we will be there, and we will be there from Thursday to Sunday. And again, join us on our stories. We're going to be doing lots of posts, lots of interviews, lots of stuff going on. And then the following week's podcast, so podcast number 77, is actually going to be recorded while we're at PickleCon.
It's going to be so much fun.
It won't follow our normal format, but it will be a podcast right from PickleCon itself.
Yeah, so you're going to want to sit at home in your pickleball gear and act like you're there because you will feel like that.
PickleCon!
PickleCon!
And if you're there, make sure you come and say hi.
Say
we
hi
really
me.
want to meet you.
Say hi me.
Yeah.
Do it, PickleCon. That's it for this episode. Unless you've got something to say, think we got it wrong, have a better take, we want to hear it. Find us at bdepodcast.com or at BDE Podcast on the socials. Drop us a message. We might just feature you in the next episode. If you had a good time, well, samesies. If not, maybe try again. We grow on people. So you know the deal. Follow the show, tell a friend, and leave us a review. Or just pretend this never happened. Until next time, keep the dink soft and the energy big.